All right, but saying what I was saying, it's like this PTSD, creation where, when you've had enough heartbreak or trauma, and they can really be, I think heartbreak is a form of trauma, and I've had enough of both, whether it's, you learn you can't trust different types of people for different reasons. I know specifically for me, men or boys for a lot of reasons. And then you go into other things like when I dated women, I learned I can't really trust women either. Like they've been my most abusive relationships ever. And like that's just the last thing somebody like me needed, who didn't grow up like really having love, like who had to be strong for her handicapped mother and who had to be the adult even though her mother was suppressing and abusive and just blatantly mean and bitchy and sometimes really awful just because that's how she was and what she did. And then, you know, I'm not even gonna get into my father, but he wasn't around and I've had all this fucking bullshit on and off with him for me, feeling like he doesn't understand my come from and just feeling like, all that I really need is just not something that I'm getting, which is like love and support. And then, to go out, after I left my mother's house and fall into this pattern of, the first it was like healing from like at least 10 years of trauma from my mother's house. It was so bad, like so bad. Like I was suicidal, I was depressed, and I was depressed severely, and I went on antidepressants, which helped at the time a little bit, but I was also seeing therapists and I had called social services on my own fucking mom. And I'll get into the PTSD thing when I was saying, but like, you know, and then having to get out, like, and processing the first breakup of the love of my life, and that's gonna take longer than some of the other following because, it's the first one, it was your first love, like, that took like 6 years, I remember, before I met my first girlfriend. And then that started like as great a relationship as that was. And this is the stupid fucking joke of an irony with women. Like, they could be so amazing, but like that started the string of abuse, verbal abuse, and mental and emotional abuse with my girlfriends, which ended up by like the last two girlfriends even becoming physical. Um, and a lot of this is just due to my inadequacies, like, oh, I'm not clean enough. Like, oh, I get headaches, and 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 then I get depressed and, they have a hard time with this, but why be abusive about it? Why be pushy about it? Like, if I fucking had an answer, I would have a different life, but these are things I'm very affected by too. Like, I need support. So, I really just really have been through the ringer over these last few years, and for things to turn physical with people that love you and they say they love you, and it just ends up by being these empty words and these lies, and and I just see that. I see that with people because this isn't love, being left alone or hit or verbally abused or talked down to, or there's so many things, and I call them perpetrators, and my heart's really broken from that. And these last couple of years have been the hardest getting through and past and dealing with stuff, including a heartbreak I had to deal with my mother and my dad. At least I forgave my mother because I was kind of forced to, because now that I'm dealing with stuff with my dad's side of the family, I had nothing. So it was like I kind of fell on my mom, like, and that was hard for me, like falling on somebody that hurt you and you don't want to show any vulnerability to, but you have nothing left. So you just collapse into your mom. She's your mom no matter what, right? So, and I don't know, like, I don't fucking know what people think of me. I don't know what they see. I know sometimes what it seems like. I certainly know sometimes what I see. And sometimes I'm so mean to myself. I'm just lately I've just been cussing myself out, like, in my head. I don't even realize I'm doing it, because I'm like, it's like I'm doing what my exes would do. Like, I'm like fucking cussing at myself because I'm so messy. But meanwhile, like, I have a fucking 4 day headache and I can't even feed myself. Like, of course I'm gonna not get out of bed or not clean, you know? And I just see myself doing that. Like, now I'm being abusive to myself, and it's just like, fuck, it's been hard to just get a little love or get a little peace. Like, I mean, I do better when I don't have headaches, but headaches kill me. Nobody should have to live in that kind of pain ever. And then, and then you add heartbreak on top of it. It's like, dude, it's like such a killer, such a double fucking. And so, getting into what I was saying about kind of having this realization about almost like this, like, post-traumatic stress syndrome effect is like, my whole life has really been traumas up until now, and I've done everything I can to get out of accidental dramas I put myself in, because maybe I'm stupid, if you want to say, or maybe I've had a bad string of luck, which it seems like. Maybe I'm stupid and naive, but and I realized going through all of that over and over and over again, and being a good person just didn't seem to be cutting it. It wasn't enough. It doesn't mean I was perfect, like, at all, but not at all, but my come from and my goodness is just, I feel like I just attracted like the complete opposite in a lot of cases, with friends or loved ones, and sometimes family issues. And, I didn't get how something could be so drastically different. It's like, fuck, I'm like, bad karma. And I'm still dealing with it so dramatically that I feel like I'm on the verge of breaking down. And, there's nobody around me that I really trust. I mean, fully or very well. There's a few, and, I'll talk to them a little bit, but when you live 30 years of your fucking life, like, hurting, and your friends don't want to see you hurting, you don't want to fucking tell them. You don't want to be a burden. So I guess I just kind of feel like I'm dying by myself, but I'm gonna keep living because that's what my stupid body does, even though it puts me through all this torture and this pain. What are you gonna do, right? And I've had assholes be so mean to me. And I can be an asshole too, but some of the way that I've had these people that I've cared about be mean to me was unwarranted, utterly. And for those people who may watch this, if this is, you know who you are. You know that what you did was unwarranted to me. And there's other people who won't know, and I've really tried, more or less, as much as I can for now, to give up trying to make people know, because I can't. I mean, I'm struggling myself. I can't sit here and just think for somebody else, or explain things to somebody when they just don't have the compassion to just know better. And I'm tired. I'm hurt. I can't take care of myself, let alone think for other people. And there's only a few things that are keeping me going right now, and one of them's Genki. The other is my mother, because she needs me. And I hate that. I hate it, because I can't even be here for myself. And nobody's here for me, but everybody needs me. Like, the tickets and the court system, they need my money, and my job needs my labor, and the government and whatever their social fucking, everybody needs my taxes and sign up for, everybody needs something from me, but I'm not getting anything from anybody right now. And that's fine. I'm not trying to be a victim, but it's just my truth. And I it's like I'm falling apart, because I'm sitting here, I can't even do it for myself. So the little things I do for myself when I can to try to stay inspired, whatever I can, like I hoop, and that is good sometimes. And as long as I don't have a headache and my body doesn't hurt, and the same thing with